274 American soldiers were killed in action. 1,320 were wounded, and 12 were
For a
missing.
kid watching on TV, they were just numbers. Then in June 1969, Life magazine changed everything. This issue, called The Faces of America's Dead in Vietnam, was a slap in the face. Just 1 week's dead. But now we knew their names and their pictures and their hometowns. Those numbers became flesh and blood. One of them was a local boy, Daniel Carter Nelson. Everybody called him Danny. I don't know much about him, except that he went to Byrd High School, played football, wore number 60, same jersey number I had. I'm told he had a girlfriend, a cheerleader named Cindy. He graduated in 1967 and shortly after joined the Marines. And on a day when the wildflowers would have been in full bloom back home, Danny was walking the jungles of Vietnam, a place called Quang Tri Province. They say he was killed by an explosive device and died instantly. It was May 1st, 1969. Danny was just 19 years old. He was buried in the Sunset Memorial Park Cemetery in Gilmer, Texas. I visited there Tuesday morning. Next to Danny's grave, it appears, is his mother and father's, who outlived their son by almost a quarter century. That is not supposed to happen. I don't really know anything else about Danny, except that he died too young. Yet in just 19 years made an impression. These remembrances left behind say all that needs to be. So, when you visit the wall the next few days, look for Daniel Carter Nelson. He was your neighbor once, and a soldier.
Heavy fighting reached Saigon.
It was the beginning of the end in Vietnam, the Tet Offensive that no one expected. A young pilot from Louisiana is immediately called upon to help troops fighting desperately on the ground.
Some special forces under attack. I kept dropping flares for them and had to go back to base and get back and found them again and dropped them wherever they wanted, and ended up getting a second Distinguished Flying Cross for they got them on the wall in there.
It's been 50 years, but the memories run deep. You see, Lowe Walker spent a lot of time in Vietnam, 3 tours beginning in 62-63 when Vietnam was not a war, it was a counterinsurgency.
To tell you the truth, I didn't think about it too much. I just saluted and did what I was told to do.
He returned in 68 and could see a difference.
During that time, our B-52s had done carpet bombing, and to see that string of little ponds down there and actually be flying when they were dropping some of those bombs and feeling shockwave.
It was on that second tour that Mayor Walker received his second Distinguished Flying Cross. Yes, he has 2 of them, and a Bronze Star for Valor, and 2 other service medals for bravery under fire, and 13 air medals for the 313 combat missions he flew. And he used to jump out of airplanes.
Jumps in Africa, France, Egypt.
Yes, Lowe Walker was a paratrooper attached to a secret commando paratroop unit that General Curtis LeMay said didn't exist.
Some media asked him about it, and he flat denied that such a unit existed. I mean, that's how close. We all thought we were going to go down and invade Cuba.
Instead, it was Vietnam, where he flew mostly C-47s, affectionately known as the Goonie Bird, supporting those young men on the ground, most of them barely out of high school.
Yeah, it was tough. Not on me personally, as a pilot, you know, I had a better situation than the troops on the ground.
Mayor Walker insists he is nobody special.
I did no more than a lot of guys did. It was just somebody there that saw it and recorded it.
Only a man fortunate to have come home when so many did not. The wall will remind us how many.
I would say to the folks, they should take the time to come out and visit and get a feel for what it's all about and what each and every one of those names on that wall means. Somebody's son, father.
The wall is healing. And when you touch that smooth granite and run your fingertips across names that you last remember, it's as if they were touching back on the opposite side, telling you that it's okay. Go on with your life. I've died, but I will live in your heart and mind forever.
I think it ought to be a requirement in life to come and look and to touch all those. Those were our neighbors.
There's 150 names on these lists. And that wasn't even all of them, because that was just 4 different battles we were in. I think about that war every day of my life. I take an Ambien at night so I can go to sleep and get away from it.
It brings back the memories, and it lets me look at other names and appreciate their sacrifices.
Gives us a piece of him back.
It did give a piece back.
Especially for me, because I was only 4. So it gives me a piece of my uncle.
You know, like I say, but every name on here has a story. They had somebody at home that loved them.
What was his name, brother?
Robert. Robert. Paraplegics, quadriplegics, amputees. I saw the results of the war. I didn't see the war firsthand. And I was lucky.
So why did you come today, sir?
I owed it to these 58,000.
sacrificed so I would have an opportunity after I come back from Vietnam to live free and raise a family and raise it properly, and raise it in their honor. And they're beautiful people. I'll be here every day.